Welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. Now, Bajaj wants to capitalize on the quarter-liter segment with its first 250cc motorcycle offering in the market, the Bajaj Dominar 250. Now, it shares the same hardware and the intent of the Bajaj Dominar 400, albeit with a smaller engine and skinnier legs. Now, Rohit will get you more.
What do you do when you have a good-looking motorcycle design and many engines in your inventory? Well, you democratize that design. Bajaj has already shown us how with the innumerable Pulsars and the KTMs that they've launched in the market. And now they're turning their attention to the Dominar, the bike that they hoped will create a lot of stir in the sport tourer segment. But that didn't quite happen. And hence this, the Dominar 250. This motorcycle hopes to take on the more lucrative and accessible quarter-liter segment and plays to its strengths by using its beefy styling to distinguish itself from the crowd. Sure, it's got relatively skinny tires compared to the Dominar 400 and the upside-down forks are slimmer too, so it is less muscular in comparison. But the muscular bodywork is largely unchanged and the premium LED headlamps and tail lamps are carried over too. So in a passing glance, the 250 still looks as handsome and premium as the 400. The quick way to distinguish between the two is the color choices that they let you make. The 250 for 2020 only comes in an all black or the red that you see here, an ode to the original Dominar 400. The touring intent is highlighted by the white tank, a wider seat, quite comfortable as well, and you also get these little straps for your luggage. You also have enough room here and there to mount your touring accessories like maybe auxiliary lights. And the sporty intent comes with the sportier riding stance, something sportier than what you would get with a Royal Enfield. So in that sense, this competes with other sport tourers like the Mahindra Mojo or the CBR 250R. The Dominar feels like a big bike when you get astride it, which many will appreciate. While its ergonomics are better than the Mojos, they aren't as comfortable as the CBR 250. The Honda also has a smoother engine. But BS6 variants of these two motorcycles are nowhere to be seen, and even previously, these bikes weren't really selling all that well. Partly because the touring community either settles for a Royal Enfield or upgrades to an adventure motorcycle like the Himalayan or the 390 Adventure. To that effect, the upcoming KTM 250 Adventure will shrink the scope of the Dominar even further. But think of this motorcycle as an alternative to the other street nakeds like the Yamaha FZ25, the Gixxer 250, the Honda CB300R or its own 250cc siblings from KTM and Husqvarna. And then things start making a lot more sense. Its touring-friendly ethos make the Dominar a relatively more comfortable motorcycle than the rest, while its KTM-derived 250cc engine is marginally lesser on power and torque than its Austrian sibling, but has the punch that this class expects. Oh, and there's also the dual spark plug technology. It is inherently quick to rev and has eager dynamics. The meat of the torque lies between 5 to 10,000 RPM, so overtakes at city or highway speeds are quick and you don't have to keep the engine on the boil for enjoying the twisties. Beyond 10,000 RPM though, the power starts tapering off and a fair amount of vibrations also kick in at the pegs. Handlebar vibrations are surprisingly low for a single cylinder. The engine cruises happily between 105 to 115 km an hour depending on the weight that you're carrying. And at that speed, you won't battle too much wind either. But there's no denying that this naked doesn't have the kind of wind and weather protection that one expects of a quick touring machine. The engine has a gruff note, very similar an evolution of what we've heard on the Pulsar so far. It doesn't have that snorkely tone that you get on the KTMs. Now the engine attaches itself to a perimeter frame, a real frame, not a body panel that looks like one. Now this frame is also responsible for giving this bike better cornering stability compared to some of its competition and also has surprisingly sharp turn-ins despite the long wheelbase. In fact, the Dominar 250's tires are not only skinnier, but are also of a lower grade than what some of its more powerful siblings wear, and yet the chassis compensates for them quite nicely. Unfortunately, the lockdown rules didn't allow us to shoot the motorcycle on our favorite mountain roads, but let me tell you, by slapping on a pair of grippier tires, the Dominar will be a hoot to ride not only on winding roads, but even on the racetrack if you intend to take it there. The only downside to the chassis is the weight. Though 7 kilos lighter than the 400, the 250 still tips the scales at 180 kilos, which is more than every other competitor in the segment. While it will mask that weight nicely when on the move, maneuvering the bike on your feet in parking spaces could get cumbersome. Riding in the city, however, doesn't feel like much of a concern. The brakes are a bit soft for my liking, but grippier tires will certainly impart more confidence on what is a very well-rounded product. In the car world, we've seen a lot of hatchbacks wearing this rugged styling and trying to ape the SUVs and the crossovers, and clearly none of them have done well. And that shows that the customer wants something that is purpose-built. I think the Dominar suffers from the same problem. The touring community, they want an adventure tourer in these times. Not many are going to settle for something like this. In fact, that's the reason why none of the sport tourers in this category have done well. So I think that is an opportunity that Bajaj can and should capitalize on. As for the Dominar 250, well, between itself and the 400cc variant, there's about a 30 to 40,000 rupee difference depending on which part of the country you're buying it in. And I think in my books, the 400 makes a lot more sense, especially if you're upgrading from a 100 or 150cc motorcycle and don't want to stretch all the way to the bigger KTMs. And if you're a first timer, if you're willing to stretch into the 250cc category into this particular price bracket, I think then the Dominar 250 makes a lot more sense. It feels a lot more premium thanks to all the stuff that it gets from the 400, and at the same time the fit and finish is excellent. You also have the piece of ownership that you associate with the Bajaj badge, and all of that are going to be the trump cards for this particular motorcycle. So is this a good viable alternative to the other 250cc's in the segment? I think it certainly is.
Well, you can head into our YouTube channel and drop in a comment to let us know what you thought of Bajaj's first 250cc motorcycle in the market. We'd love to hear from you. On that note, let's shift gears and focus on the news from this week. Hyundai hosted their first virtual live launch, the Next Dimension, with some really cool online graphics. During the presentation, they launched the facelifted Tucson at an introductory price of 22.30 lakh rupees. In an equally impressive digital launch, Honda Cars India launched the 5th generation of the Honda City at 10.90 lakh rupees for the base trim variant, going up to over 14 lakh rupees for the top spec ZX diesel variant. On that note, it's time for us to take our final break here on the show. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you acquainted with the new generation BMW X6.